You want to sing about Gethsemane now? What's up, family and friends? How you doing? Welcome to the Woke Nation. And it's our nation of factual truth where we feel free to share knowledge or spread knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor. And there's no issue that is too sensitive for us to talk about. From sin to sex, we talk everything. So we are not trying to pretend and we're not trying to win the crowd, okay? Because majority already won the crowd. So we are trying to wake the crowd up. Majority of our people to wake them up. So I welcome you, Vora, Chukwuemeka, and the rest of you. You are welcome. And keep encouraging us, the woke nation, to keep seeking and spreading the knowledge of factual truth. It doesn't matter how you present it, so long it's factual truth. It's okay by us. Oh, I forgot my African white man made map. Let me put it in. That's it. All right, so I'm speaking on what I titled "See It in Reality," that you need to see. When I say see it in reality, it means know it. You need that knowledge. You need to know what you believe. You need to see. You need to see. You know, blind faith is stupidity. There's no way you can defend blind faith. And I'm happy that our people, whenever they speak with me, especially over the phone, those of them living in America here, you know, they see that they cannot disagree with me when I use factual things around them, themselves especially. As example, I spoke with one Igbo brother that for many years I haven't heard from him. So I called him yesterday. He didn't pick up. Then he called me back today. He said he moved out of state. He moved to another state in America here. So we were talking. He said he thanked Anime Kelechukwu. That's the first thing that always come out of our people's mouth. Whether they are Christians or traditionalists, they always thanking Chukwu that they have not seen God. They have not seen. Some of them say it's nature. If it's nature, why are you thanking nature? Nature haven't asked you to thank him. Nature brought you here just for you to live. So you don't need to thank. It's their mentality of there is spring being somewhere you have to thank. No. I say, see, you move out of the state to another. You are the one that moved. If you didn't move, no God will move you. You are the one that decided to move. But we are taught to, he says, true. He said, even all his children now, he did not name them any English name. I say, yes. Have you seen any white man or any white woman that baptized their children and give them African name? Because it's slaves that take the name of their slave masters. Slave masters don't take the name of slaves. So till today, whether you like it or not, Africans are still slaves. I've been seeing online, and also one of our brother also said that today, talking about we need economic power for us, we give us value. No, the slave master will never allow you to build it. There was once white Wall Street in America here. They bombed it down. Many of us don't seem to understand what it is. A war. It's not something you can get by. Okay, we are using diplomacy now. We are using this, political. No, if they give you independence, you are still slave. You integrate with them, you are still slaves. So the only thing that will make you have your value again, regain your place of greatness and mightiness, is freedom. And the freedom is not given. Freedom is not a gift of any God. It's not a gift of any people. It's something you must fight for and take it. They fought to take it from you. You have to fight to regain it. Period. So you need to see what you believe. Before I proceed, I want you to forget everything about books or letters. Forget about all those voices. No, because people that defend their blind faith always turn to book. I remember that guy that think I am talking against God because I tried to become a minister. It did not work. I said, I have many people that I went to theological school with. Their ministry still, they are struggling. They are saying, no, I'm not that type of person. If I do something, it's not working, I leave it. You don't tell me, no, I keep living miserable life in the name of what? No, I do what works. So they always say, okay, the other book you're talking about, is it not somebody that wrote it? So when you tell them that it's people that wrote the Bible, you say, okay, what of the other book is somebody? Yeah, okay, but you are talking about somebody or something you say is almighty, and this thing is real, this thing is alive, or this person is real, or this person is alive. So you shouldn't compare it with any book or with anything. Just as that brother did today, he said that it's not everything we see, like we don't see our brain. I said, but you're talking about God, a living person. Are you comparing God now with what he created? If you can't see the brain, although you can see the brain, but they always say that at least you have technology today that you can see your brain. You can see whatever is inside of your body if you accept your mind, because your mind is connected to the universe, right? Okay, but you can see your brain, right? Right there. Then, now, I said these people, because they want to support their argument or support their illusion. They say those books, but we don't need book. If there is God, we don't need book to teach us about God. We don't need theology. Theology simply means study about God. So if God exists, I don't think any of us is studying any book to know about our father, our mother. No, because they gave birth to us, we know them. Even if you haven't seen your parents, those people that will tell you that will actually tell you, because they are their either siblings or their relations. They actually saw them. Or your ancestors, they actually saw them. It's not fictional, it's not imaginary. So forget about books. Let us put books aside. Let us put letters aside. And let us put voices aside when you're talking about God or living being. The living being is supposed to be able to communicate with you, especially when you believe that living being exists, especially when you believe that living being is almighty. You need to. And as usual, I will also use some of what is written in the book of the theists to show them that's what I'm supporting their book. They need to see anyone or anything or any book that tell you cannot see God must be written by those who created that God originally. Check it. You find out every God is man-made. So you need to see and not just holding blind faith. All right? So first, you have to see what you believe. You have to see what you believe. Whether you see it before you believe it or you see it after you believe it, is the same thing, but at least you can see it. When you can see it with your eyes closed, you can explain it and you can even demonstrate it. All right. So, like when you look at the story of Thomas, that's how every one of us supposed to be living. We're supposed to be behaving like Thomas. We're supposed to be doubting Thomases. Don't just believe something because somebody say it, especially somebody that used to commune with you or used to do business with you. No, yes. Oh, because I've known you for a while now I'm going to believe whatever you say. No, it's not good. That's what keeps many people in bondage. And we have to free ourselves from that. You have to believe. I mean, you have to see what you believe. You know, if you don't see it, don't believe it. But if you believe it, then see it. Don't stop at believing. Don't believe that lie they tell you. Blessed are those who did not see but believe. It's not. That's nonsense. It's stupidity for you to believe something you have not seen just because somebody said that and you stop at that. You didn't ask for proof afterwards. You have to do that. Let's see. Read about Thomas. All right. Remember, I'm not talking about God now, but I said when you are talking about God, when you say there is God, that God is alive. You don't need any book, you don't need any letter, you don't need any voice. You need that God to speak to you expressly, speak to you directly, not indirectly, not in the vision, not in the dream. No, in reality. John chapter 20, from verse 24 to 27. He said, now Thomas, like me, called the twin. I am called Akadulam, one of the 12 and one of the Africans, okay, and not one of the 12. 12 never existed. Was not with them when Jesus came. There was no complaint. Jesus didn't say, oh, you were not with them. You know, you are backsliding. You are saying we do this or that. No, it was not saying it's not a must you gather anywhere. Don't let anyone tell you have to go to church, you have to go to mosque, or you have to go to any shrine or temple or house of God. No, you don't have to, okay? The other disciples therefore said to him, we have seen the Lord. That's preaching. That's teaching. That's verbally saying things. That's statement. We have seen the Lord, that's prophecy. We have seen the Lord, that's vision. We have seen the Lord, that's dream. We have seen the Lord, that's revelation. So Thomas said to them, unless I see, if you saw, I need also to see. So nobody have the monopoly of seeing. No certain group of people have the monopoly of seeing. He said, unless I see in his hands the print of the nails and put my finger into the print of the nails and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. Simple. That is Thomas. And that's good for him. That's his what? Decision. Listen, I know what I saw. I know they crucified this guy. So any other person can show up and tell me, oh, I'm Jesus. No. There is evidence. 3 days, those nails, Pierre's hand cannot be healed and covered. And no, I need to see proofs. You see that? Not even only seeing it, I want to feel it. Put my hand and see it. Then he said, after 8 days, his disciples were again inside, and Thomas with them. Jesus came. So they did not only preach Jesus to Thomas, Jesus also came himself to show, to confirm their word. And that's what Mark chapter 16 verse 20 said. He said they went everywhere preaching the word, and the Lord walking with them, confirming the word with signs following. So the Lord is supposed to confirm your word. If you say there is Jesus, the only way Jesus can confirm his existence is himself coming in reality, not in dream, not in vision, not in revelation, not in trance, not in prophecy, and not definitely in any book. All right. So Jesus came, the door being shut. So there's no excuse whether you have sin or whatever that will shut Jesus from coming. There is no more hindrance because Jesus has resurrected according to your book. He has been glorified. So he can go through locked gate, through locked door, through sin, whatever it is that no matter you say you are against darkness, Jesus should also be able to go through that to show himself to you. Jesus came, the door being shut, and stood in the midst and said, peace to you. Not somebody speaking for Jesus, not the pastor speaking for Jesus, not Peter speaking for Jesus, not Pope speaking for Jesus. Jesus showed up himself physically in their midst, not in their mind, not in their heart, in their midst, and said himself, peace be to you. Allah Akubaru. That's what he said. Then he said to Thomas, not disciples trying to make Thomas believe or understand their message. No, Jesus himself spoke to Thomas, the doubter. So if I am an unbeliever and you are a believer and you tell me something about God, God himself is supposed to be the one that will come to me and confirm it. I don't need your words. I don't need your threats. I need that same God you're talking about. And I want to see that God myself. Then he said to Thomas, reach your finger. He did not rebuke Thomas. He did not call Thomas, oh, you doubter. He did not say that. He did not call Thomas names. He said to Thomas, reach your finger here and look at my hands, and reach your hand here and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing, of course. If I see it, I touch it, I will no longer be unbeliever. I will no longer be unbelieving. Do you get that? That's how it's supposed to be. You need to see what you believe. That somebody tell you that is not fact. It's not real. It's not proof. That's why Bible is not proof. Bible is claim. It's words written by some man, whether inspired by God or not. Don't worry about that. That God they wrote about in the Bible, I want to see that God. That Jesus they wrote about in the Bible, I want to see that Jesus. Until Jesus show up, shut up. Until God show up, shut up. Don't talk about God and Jesus anymore. Let them confirm their existence themselves, are coming physically and speaking like us. And don't tell me I cannot speak your language. So see what you believe. The second one is see who you believe. You believe their words, then you need to see their words. Okay, the words became flesh and dwelt among us. We beheld his glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Okay, we want to see. If you saw and wrote, okay, I read it now, I need to see. For me to believe. Then see who you believe. In Luke chapter 24, verse 36 to 43, you know, I've been saying this repeatedly. They saw Jesus. They thought it was a spirit. For those of you that believe in a spirit, or in spirit hovering or appearing and disappearing, okay, they saw Jesus. They were frightened. They were afraid. They supposed it was spirit. Everything about spirit is supposed. People supposing, you know, we suppose, we thought, okay, we think there is a spirit. Then nobody can prove there is a spirit. Nobody can prove there is soul. Anyone that tell you they have soul, ask them to show you the location of that soul, and then they cannot. Nobody can prove that. It's just make believe. Okay, so they saw Jesus. They supposed, they thought it was a ghost or a spirit. So that's what they said. But Jesus said to them, no, it is I. I am not a spirit. Touch me to see. I have flesh and bones. Spirit don't have flesh and bones. Spirit don't. So when you say you are a spirit, right, you're not supposed to have flesh and bones. You are spirit, not a spirit to be hovering. The real spirit can be touched, can be filled. Yes, real spirit. We have been taught away from this fact that now we think spirit is something you cannot see or somebody you cannot see. No, you can touch spirit. I am spirit speaking. I am spirit standing. I move myself as a spirit. Spirit is energy. Spirit is frequency. Spirit is eternal. Spirit is natural. That's it. But they tell you, know, it's a something you see in your dream, or it's not something you can feel. No, it is. So you have to see who you believe that is alive. They tell you somebody is alive, like God is alive, Jesus is alive. Then you need to see that God. You need to see that Jesus. When you read Mark chapter 10, verse 27, it said that with men, this is impossible, but not with God. For with God, all things are possible. Then you that believe in the living God, why is it impossible for that living God to show up? Why is it impossible for God to show up? You keep defending your delusion, your illusion, your hallucination with after death you will see, or you will see it one day. No, one day is not a date. Be specific. If you know what you are saying, you have to be specific. If you say there is God or there is Jesus and they are alive, they're supposed to do what? Show up themselves. It's supposed to be possible for them to show up. If it's impossible for you to show them, it's supposed to be possible for them themselves to show themselves. It's that simple, my people. The third one, you need to see what you want to buy or what you want in life. What is that you want in life? You need to see it, right? And you see that the only factual way you see what you really desire in life or want is by you working it out. Either you're working it out or your fellow human being working it out. There's no spirit that is going to make it, that can make it a reality. You can dream about it, you can vision it, you can do all that mind, whatever, but you have to work to bring it into reality. You don't tell me you want to buy a car without seeing the car. You don't tell me you want to rent apartment without seeing the apartment. You go there to see it yourself before you give them your money. Now I'm looking for an apartment. Now you tell maybe somebody call me on the phone, say, I have an apartment. It's so amount. Give me the money. And you know, it's a good place. You move in so date. And I believe the person and give the person the money. Guess what? The person can say, you know, it's not as I said or whatever. And the person may even delete my number. I haven't seen the person. I haven't seen the apartment. But because I saw some commercial, then I say, I want it. I like it. And I believe the person, whatever the person said, no, I have to go and see the apartment. You want to buy a car, you have to go and see the car. Nobody buys anything by faith. Nobody sells anything even by faith. You don't rent any house or build anything by faith. In this world, you cannot. Faith is fake. So you need to see what you want. What is that thing you want? You have that dream. You have to see it. How can you see it? You have to walk. Work it out yourself. Check it out. You don't just take people's word for it because your father say that, or your mother say that, your friends say that, your siblings say that. You're not gonna just swallow it like that. You have to check it out. You see, some people, even when I was a Christian and doing business, some people that I trust, I don't count the money they give to me. I will only ask you, how much is this? You say, some people will say, why I didn't count it? I say, because I trust that person, but that's stupidity. Because the person might maybe made mistake when he counted the money, but I see it like, well, even if it's short, you know, I trust this person, I can make it up. That was stupid because faith make you believe stupid things and do stupid things. And you think you know what you are doing, but you don't. Because it's a belief. Anyone that is doing what they believe don't know what they're doing. Anyone that is preaching or teaching what they believe don't know what they're doing. They only believe, so they speak. It is written also in their book, I believe, I also speak. That's what they do. They believe, they speak. But the wise people don't speak what they believe. They speak what they know. What through exercise they have proven. This is how this thing works. Okay, so check it out. See the person and see the thing that you believe. Blind faith is not intelligence. Blind faith, there's no intelligence, there's no wisdom in blind faith. There's no knowledge in blind faith. There's no understanding in blind faith, although they claim it is. No, they claim you understand what they wrote. You know what they wrote. You can see what they wrote. That's what they're telling you, but not in reality. So when you say that faith is a spiritual knowledge, I used to preach that nonsense. Faith is a spiritual knowledge because by faith we understand the word. We are framed by the word of God. It is people that wrote that nonsense. No God has shown up and tell you my words framed this word or formed this word. No. Such God does not exist. Blind faith is not intelligence. It is stupidity. Show me your faith. I don't want you to preach your faith. I don't want you to defend your faith. I want you to show me your faith. Show me your faith. Is it not written in your book also? In that place, in I think James chapter 1 or James chapter 2, he say, show me your faith, and I will show you my works. You cannot show faith, you cannot demonstrate faith, you cannot prove faith. Say, show me your faith. Can you show me your faith? No. You can only preach it, you can only teach it, you can only defend it, but you cannot demonstrate it. And the only right way you can defend your faith is by demonstrating it. You remember the prophet in Ibadan that went to the zoo one Sunday morning thinking God is with him, angels are with him, the Holy Bible is with him, Jesus is with him. He went to demonstrate that he's serving the same God of Daniel, even in a higher level now, because Jesus has risen. Lion ate him raw. But you hear men of God today still telling you about faith. No, they cannot demonstrate it. You hear Bishop Oledebo saying that church is a clinic. If church was clinic, nobody would have shut down churches. Nobody would have done that. For you to believe any man of God telling you that church is a healing center or clinic for healing or anything, you must be a certified moron. Don't believe them. Coronavirus has taught you whether you believe coronavirus is real or not. That's your business, but at least use it to learn. They shut down everything, God, because of coronavirus. Understand that is simple. So if you, after this coronavirus, you still believe there is God, you still believe there is a man of God, anointed, anything else, any man that have power to heal, you are stupid. No, you are stupid. That's what make you stupid. Faith. You are believing something that is not real. You keep believing it, even to the extent of hating your fellow human being and deluding yourself more. Then you are stupid. A fool is better than you. Preaching and verbally preaching and verbally defending your faith without showing or demonstrating your faith is a stupid act. Period. When you do that, you are a sheep. When you do that, you are a goat. You are not human. Humans demonstrate what they know. You cannot demonstrate what you believe. You cannot. You say you believe there is God. Show me the God. You cannot. You say there is healing in the name of Jesus. Demonstrate it. You cannot. You need to understand that as a human being with your own brain, you have your own brain to think for yourself. You have your own brain to feel for yourself. You have your own brain to desire for yourself. Then you do what you desire. You do what is good and working for you. For you to get paid, you have to work for somebody. If you don't know how to work, nobody will pay you. You say, oh, I pay you now because you tell me you know how to work. No, you have to actually work. You have to actually repair it. You have to actually build it. You have to actually do the work for them to pay you. That's how you make money. Nobody makes money by faith, including your pastors. They take your money because they are not living by faith. They preach to you lies, telling you God will bless you, God will do that, and tell you that you are giving that offering to God. They spend their time to preach. Pastors are just like criminals also. You think stealing is not work? Go and try, let's see. It's work. I remember my father used to say that to me growing up. He said the hardest work in this world is stealing. If you know what I mean, criminal, they do a lot of planning, they sit down, they don't want to be caught, so they want to see how they will execute it perfectly. That's how you execute jobs, to get paid. Understand that believing without seeing is stupidity. Seeing is believing, is wisdom. Seeing is believing. You know the saying, seeing is believing. That's wisdom. I see it, I believe. Of course, that's wisdom. So, by telling me that I am blessed by believing without seeing, no, you are calling me stupid. And that's why stupid people are believers. Stupid people follow God. Stupid people follow Jesus because they are stupid. They are sheep. They are goats. And their book called them sheep and goats. The sheep are the one that give. The goats are the one that are stingy. But all of them are still animals. Both of them. And they believe that some will go to hell, some will go to heaven. Nonsense. Sin is knowing, is factual truth. You see it, you feel it, you find out everything about it. You have the whole truth about it. That is factual truth. Another word for factual truth is whole truth. It's not half truth. It's not somehow truth. No, the whole truth. And in closing, I want to thank our African American ancestors and those who are still alive, who have traveled to some places written in books they read in schools to dig up facts. They did not just believe it. He said, okay, that professor said that. Oh, that's what they said. No, they went. They were the one, not even Africans living in Africa, but African Americans, the descendants of the slaves, or some of them who traveled from Africa to America. After the studies, they decided to find out the facts. They traveled to Egypt, begin to dig. They are the one that find out Egyptians were not white people, as Nollywood's movie shows, as their book says, as white people says. The original Egyptians were blacks. But they came and killed the blacks out. Some of them run away. Then they took the land. They rape our women to produce their kind. That's why you see them with all that face skin. I thank them, living and dead. Those our ancestors, African Americans, who went and dig. They did not remain religious like those Africans in Africa, even to today. Although they travel abroad to study, they still return religious nuts, believing there is one God somewhere, there is one devil somewhere, God doing good and devil doing evil. No, these people went down to Egypt. They went down to other places that has been mentioned in history and in religious books and begin to find out the lies, coming up with facts. And when they speak, when you hear them, you can check them on YouTube or Google about them. You can read some of their articles and see that they are the real saviors. They saved my life also, and they keep saving people. Even some of them that are dead and gone, they are still saving lives. Better than those professors you have in your institution of learning today. Better than all those ministers of God you have in your religious centers today. These people went down and dig it up. They did not stop from in believing. They take that step, that very important step further to know. And they show us, they share with us what they knew. Today, many of us, or some of us, are awakened because of their work. Don't live and die blind. Don't live and die without seeing what you believe. If they say it exists, or he exists, or she exists, you need to see them. Think or think. I will encourage you to think, because that's the only way you will stop thinking. Peace.